resentment doesn't come out of nowhere. It isn't a personality flaw, and it isn't a sign that someone is ungrateful or difficult. In therapy, resentment is understood as information. It's a signal that something important has been ignored or pushed aside for too long. Most people are taught to see resentment as something bad, something to suppress, fix, or feel ashamed of. But resentment usually forms when someone keeps showing up for others while quietly disappearing from themselves. Resentment grows slowly. It builds when someone repeatedly says yes while their body is saying no. They keep the peace. They avoid conflict. They push past their limits until frustration starts leaking out in subtle ways. Maybe you were raised to keep the peace, to be chill, to not make it weird, to let it go. So now your default is to just swallow stuff and try to be the cool one. But that stuff doesn't disappear. It stores, it simmers. Resentment is just all the unspoken that actually hurt moments built up. What if resentment is actually a reminder, a little signal that says, hey, you need clearer boundaries. Hey, that relationship might not be as mutual as you thought. Hey, you're overdue for a conversation, maybe even with yourself. Resentment isn't you being toxic, it's you trying to protect yourself in a quiet way. So, next time it creeps up, instead of judging it, pause and ask, what need of mine is going unmet? Where did I say yes but meant no? What would self respect look like right now? And go from there, not with guilt, but with honesty. You deserve relationships, including the one with you, that don't require you to suppress yourself to keep the vibe alive. Resentment's not random, it's just where the truth has been hiding. Imagine someone who always helps, staying late, picking up slack, offering emotional support. They tell themselves, it's fine, I can handle it. But eventually, exhaustion sets in and resentment appears. The resentment isn't about helping, it's about not feeling allowed to say, I don't have it in me right now. Resentment often asks one quiet but powerful question: where did I abandon myself? This isn't about blame, it's about awareness and gently reconnecting with personal limits and needs. What helps starts small. First, naming resentment without judgment. Second, getting curious about what boundary wasn't expressed. And third, practicing honest communication, not confrontational, just clear. I need more notice. I can't take that on. I need support too. Each time someone listens to their internal signals and responds with care, resentment loosens its grip. Resentment isn't random. It's a messenger asking to be heard, not silenced. And when it's met with compassion and clarity, it often transforms into self respect, balance, and more authentic connection.